KSAT 12. The Nightbeat starts right now.
It has been a violent weekend across Texas, including right here in San Antonio, and it brings up the debate about gun safety laws. Find out why more than 100 proposed changes available for discussion at the State House likely won't make it out of committee.
And a trip to the mall ends with 8 people dead near Dallas. We have the latest on the recent massacre making headlines, along with the victims now being identified.
Up first on the Nightbeat tonight, we are talking about gun laws being proposed right here in Texas. The number moving on to the next steps are only in the dozens.
Yeah, but the number of laws that seemingly won't be moving on, more than 100. And after a violent weekend around Texas and here in San Antonio, gun violence prevention advocates and leaders are giving their last push for more reform. As
the night team's Lee Waldman reports, the deadline for change this legislative session is closing soon.
Time is running out for bills written to change gun laws in Texas to make it out of the committee created to hear them.
It's sad that it's come down to this last day.
Berlinda Arreola is a part of the Lives Rob nonprofit created after the mass shooting at Robb Elementary in Uvalde. She says she's angry and hurt that more movement hasn't been made by the Texas House Select Committee on Community Safety to get through bills relating to guns. Something she'd hoped to see done in honor of the Robb victims, like her step-granddaughter, Amory Jo Garza.
I just don't understand what it would take for everyone to understand how real this is, how traumatic this is, how it's not going to stop. You know, if we don't make a change, it's just common sense gun laws.
The House Select Committee on Community Safety was created back in February. It has 13 bipartisan members that will hear bills relating to firearm possession, use, sale, and transfer. Of the 139 bills presented to the committee since the start of the regular legislative session January 10th, only 29 have made it out of committee. Monday, May 8th, marks the last day for House committees to turn in their bills to be placed on the House calendar for discussion, leaving the 110 bills left on the table by the Community Safety Committee in jeopardy.
Every single representative is going to have this on their hands, whether you're Democrat, Republican, you know, it doesn't matter because, you know, the bullet doesn't discriminate.
On the heels of yesterday's mass shooting at an outlet mall in Allen that left 8 dead and 9 wounded, Arreola says it's more evident than ever something needs to be done sooner rather than later. Uvalde Representative Tracy King's bill, HB 2744, is one of the bills that would be affected by Monday's deadline.
So I call this bill 21 for 21. For the 21 souls we lost in Uvalde, let's raise the age to 21 for the purchase of these weapons that took those innocent lives.
The Uvalde families have been advocating for HB 2744 for months. King isn't alone. State Senator Roland Gutierrez has filed 24 pieces of legislation in direct response to what happened at Robb last May. None of his bills have made it to a hearing.
There's been no explanation from the committee chair as to why the other 110 bills have not progressed or been called for a vote. Tomorrow morning, there is a rally planned by Texas Gun Sense. It's a coalition of gun violence prevention groups in Austin to push the committee to take action. That's happening at 9 a.m. An hour later, Senator Gutierrez will be joined by the Uvalde families to call for that same action. We'll be streaming that 10 a.m. press conference on all KSAT platforms. Back to you.
Thank you, Lee. Now, if you'd like to have your voice or your opinion heard or ask the representatives in the Community Safety Committee to bring these bills to a vote, you can call those members directly. We have their contact information on KSAT.com. Just link to this story. We will also have an update on the outlet mall mass shooting in Allen a little bit later in this newscast.
Back here at home, a father is in jail tonight in connection with the shooting that led to the death of his 8-month-old child. Alejandro Martinez is facing charges of injury to a child with serious bodily injury. The shooting happened back on April 12th in an apartment complex on Northeast Loop 410. San Antonio police say Martinez was arguing with the baby's mother when a gun went off and hit that mother and the infant. Both were taken to the hospital. The infant pronounced dead there. The mother was arrested once she was released from the hospital.
Here's a look at some stories we've been following today. A man is facing manslaughter charges tonight in connection with a fatal crash on Southwest Loop 410. That crash happened just before 10 o'clock last night on the loop near Old Pearsall Road. Now, San Antonio police say A Honda Civic was turning towards the access road and cut off a Chevy Trailblazer. The Honda was hit on the passenger side, leaving the person unresponsive. They were pronounced dead at the scene. Their identity is unknown at this time, but we do know it was a 24-year-old man. The driver and passenger inside the Chevy suffered minor injuries.
The Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office still working to identify a body found in a ditch on the south side. The body was discovered around 10:30 this morning near the I-35 access road and Kiowa Street. The man was found with blood on his face and a damaged bicycle nearby. No witnesses were around to give police information, but they are investigating it as a fatal hit and run.
A community now grieving for the 8 lives lost just 24 hours ago during a shooting rampage at those outlet malls north of Dallas.
7 others injured in the attack. 3 of them are still in critical condition. This marks the 199th mass shooting in the U.S. so far this year.
ABC's Melissa Adon reports tonight from Allen and tells us about what we know about the victims who have been identified so far.
Governor Greg Abbott attending a vigil in Allen, Texas on Sunday as the community gathered to mourn the 8 lives lost when a gunman opened fire at an outlet mall. The victims range in age from 5 to 61. Among those victims, 20-year-old Christian LaCour. His sister tells ABC he worked at the mall. Investigators are reviewing this graphic video that shows the gunman stepping out of a car and opening fire on people on the sidewalk at the Allen Premium Outlets north of Dallas Saturday afternoon.
We got shots fired at the mall.
A police officer was in the area on a different call when he heard the gunshots. Minutes later, saying he'd taken down the shooter. Quatina Ely says she sheltered in a fitting room. The gunman firing at her parents, who survived.
They began to run and they both fell to the ground. Maybe he thought that he had shot them, so he turned the gun and began shooting in the other direction where there were a lot of people.
Former Army officer Stephen Spainhour says his son works at the mall. He says he was at the scene within minutes and tells ABC's Matt Gutman he called 911.
I was on the operator. I was counting bodies, and I told her I've got 7 bodies. I need 7 ambulances, and she's like, "What? I don't know if we have that many."
And what was the state of this little boy? You said he was about 4 years old?
Yeah, he's 4 or 5, and he was underneath some of the adults. They fell on top of him. He managed to get out, and he was covered in blood, so I got him to a safe spot so I could get him out first.
The suspected shooter has been identified as 33-year-old Mauricio Garcia. Investigators have searched his home in Dallas.
We believe at this point that the shooter acted alone.
Authorities tell ABC News they have not yet determined a motive. They say in 2008, Garcia was discharged from the Army for mental health concerns. Investigators are now poring over his social media history, finding racially motivated posts, and they say that he was wearing a patch with white supremacist insignia. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Allen, Texas.
Happening this week, a deadline involving the COVID-19 pandemic. The U.S. public health emergency is set to expire on Thursday. So what does that mean? The CDC says it means that its surveillance methods of COVID will change. The federal agency will now primarily use hospital admissions and wastewater to track COVID levels across the country instead of testing data. As we enter this new phase, experts warn it's still important to stay vigilant. The CDC says it is working to continue as normal when it comes to vaccine effectiveness and research into long COVID.
A Centennial birthday celebration today was one steeped in San Antonio history. Dorothy Hughes was just 16 when she joined the famous Jefferson High School Lassos in 1936. Well, yesterday, she turned 100 years old, making her the oldest living Lasso.
This is a great day in my life. I mean, who would have ever thought I'd be here in this many years?
The Lassos and dance team, rope and dance team has been famous nationwide, and one of the things Hughes is most proud of, she's lived a life full of adventure and service. And this weekend, she reminisced about those priceless moments in a room packed with friends and family.
It's been a wonderful life, and I've had so many wonderful memories of so many of you and what you've meant to me through the years.
Hughes and her contractor husband built University United Methodist Church on De Zavala, where this 100th birthday party was held.
Happy birthday to Miss Dorothy.
A very happy birthday. All right, let's go outside with live cam here tonight. Something that everybody noticed this weekend, the humidity that has been in place. Now today, we actually had a few passing light showers that roamed through portions of Bexar County, and the cloud cover was able to stick around just little bit longer, which generally held temperatures at bay. But yes, dew points still very elevated in the upper 60s and low 70s. So you can feel that stickiness when you step outdoors. And because of that moisture, we also have managed to see a few storms move into parts of south central Texas here tonight. Some of that activity non-severe, moving through southern Maverick County, stretching over to Zavala as well as Dimmitt County, and then a few little storms that are weakening as they approach northern Val Verde County. We'll get you a full look at the radar coming up in just a bit, but this just leads in more daily chances to find some rain and storms, all starting with your Monday, about a 20 to 30% potential there. But yes, that's going to continue as we head into the upcoming work week. So we'll get you all those details coming up in just a few.
Coming up, imagine stopping a bus from crashing before you even have a license to drive. That's what happened in this video. We'll introduce you to the 7th grader being called a hero. Plus, it might just look like a plaque to some, but for one local family, it's the story of their ancestors. As part of our History Untold series, we'll show you how this one history marker brings so much pride to this family.
And this week, all eyes will be on the U.S. Mexico border as Title 42, which limits the number of people seeking asylum, is set to end. How border cities are preparing for the even larger influx of migrants to come. A makeshift memorial already in place at the spot where 7 people lost their lives after an SUV drove into them at a bus stop near a migrant shelter. This all happening in Brownsville near the U.S. Mexico border. Surveillance video in the area capturing the moments before the crash. Officials there say a driver ran a red light and hit the group of people. The SUV then flipped after hitting the curb. Officials say most of the migrants were waiting on that curb. 11 others were also injured at the scene. Those migrants were told mostly Venezuelan men.
As pandemic-era immigration rules expire this week, the Biden administration is preparing to see as many as 10,000 migrants per day crossing the border.
The migrants have already been coming in large numbers in El Paso. ABC's Maria Villarreal spoke with some migrants on the journey to America about what they're dealing with along the way.
This morning, pressure mounting along the U.S. Mexico border as the end of Title 42 creeps closer. In Juarez, Mexico, just across the river from El Paso, a growing number of tents line the riverbank. In Brownsville, Texas, clothes and trash left near the Rio Grande River by groups that were apprehended by Border Patrol. On Thursday, Title 42, the pandemic-era policy that allows agents to quickly expel migrants because of COVID concerns, will sunset. Officials predicting up to 10,000 migrants crossing the border each day, far beyond the 3,500 per day authorities can comfortably handle.
If it does spike next week, we're going to be ready to handle that.
Across the river in Matamoros, desperation at a tipping point. There's no electricity or running water here. Lucia Gomez and her 2-year-old daughter Jessica have been living in that Matamoros camp for 5 months, unable to get an appointment to request asylum. Her patience is dwindling as the dangers of living here get worse. On the ground with Border Patrol in Texas, Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas tells us they are surging resources to the border.
We are maximizing the resources we have to deliver the most efficient result. We are doing so within a system, an immigration system, that is fundamentally broken.
That was ABC's Maria Villarreal reporting. The Department of Defense is sending an additional 1,500 active duty troops to support Border Patrol along the U.S. Mexico border for a 3-month period that starts this week.
Back here at home, turning our eyes to the skies and the weather, we've seen a lot of splash and dash showers throughout the weekend and a lot of humidity. It didn't feel quite as sticky out there, though, today.
Yes, no, that's the good news, especially for those that were able to tap into some of that rain-cooled air. Temperatures weren't able to climb as high. So yes, not too bad, but those dew points are still pretty elevated here tonight, and that humidity is not going anywhere. It is going to stick with us over the next several days. Now, along with that, though, also comes the potential for some rain and storms each and every day. Now, here's the thing, right off the bat, it's not going to touch your backyard each and every day, but we at least will have the potential to find some activity out there on the radar moving forward. Yes, that humidity still with us, that muggy feel is going to be found in the morning, stepping out for the morning drive, and even we'll still keep that heat index value in the forecast, especially as we head into tomorrow afternoon, which we'll talk about in just a bit. But as we look ahead, yes, we have daily chances for some rain this week, but next weekend we already are seeing some signals. Maybe we could find even higher coverage of some rain and thunderstorms, but we still have some time to fine-tune the details on that. For now, let's get you a look at what we're monitoring in terms of rain and storm activity late this Sunday night. Pretty quiet here in San Antonio. Might have a few sprinkles working into portions of Medina County near D'Hanis, as well as Hondo. But what we've been monitoring this evening, we were able to see some storms develop over the mountains of Mexico. Non-severe here, but some of that activity has been able to move into southern Maverick County, even into western Dimmitt, as well as Zavala County, approaching Highway 83 there near Crystal City, as well as Carrizo Springs. That activity is moving farther up to the east-northeast. And then we've also been keeping tabs on these little thunderstorms that have been approaching far northern Val Verde County. They were warned for the potential to find some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts embedded within that activity and maybe some hail up to the size of quarters, but we haven't seen that severe thunderstorm warning be extended into Val Verde County because it does look like those storms are starting to weaken, which is the good news. But still, if it can hold together, could approach the Baker's Crossing area there by the top of the 11 p.m. hour. So we'll keep tabs on that. The better bet for severe weather today, though, has been off to our north near the San Angelo as well as Abilene areas. But this is still the setup, the same setup that we've been seeing over the past several days. Low pressure off to our west, high pressure to our southeast. So that means in the upper levels of the atmosphere, we still have this southwest flow aloft. And with little disturbances, little pockets of energy that have been rolling across the Lone Star State, that's why we've been able to see these pop-up showers and storms across portions of our area. And you can see each and every day that is going to continue. Again, it's not going to be for everybody each and every day, but with the potential there, probably a good idea to keep the umbrella handy this week, as well as your KSAT Weather Authority app, just to be on the safe side. Here's the latest version of our futurecast depicting what the radar could look like here as we head into our Monday. This is not going to be perfect. Tomorrow morning, some patchy fog, a few sprinkles, and maybe some sun into the afternoon, some peaks of sunshine there. I'm going to keep about a 20% potential for a few isolated showers in the forecast Monday afternoon. But you can see as we head into Monday evening, this is 8 p.m., as we see another disturbance move through south central Texas, some scattered rain and thunderstorms will be possible there, and more of the same is expected as we head into our Tuesday. Some passing rain and a couple of rumbles. So a lot to monitor. 74 degrees right now, though, temperature-wise. It's going to be muggy out there tomorrow morning. We will look to see those thermometers fall into the upper 60s, low 70s by wake up time. Again, the cloud cover in store throughout the first half of the day. Temperatures climbing into the 80s into the early afternoon, and then daytime highs topping off in the upper 80s, low 90s if we can find those peaks of sunshine. We were talking about the heat index. It'll likely feel like the mid to upper 90s in spots tomorrow. So we'll keep eyes on that. Again, daily chances for storms after that with highs in the 80s. And then yes, next weekend, one to monitor and check back in on, because we could find some better chances for rain there, guys.
And at least the temperature numbers are lower towards the end of the week tomorrow.
Yeah, considering
Woof.
how dry and hot we already were last year, we'll take what we have right there. Thank you, Mia. Larry will join us with a preview of Instant Replay right after this. A young pitcher from New Braunfels High School excelled in his major league debut, and a young ball player from MacArthur High School was named American League Rookie of the Month. For more on Instant Replay tonight, let's join our Larry Ramirez.
How about that? These two young guys are just so fun to watch, and I think stars in the making. It was Miller time in Oakland, and Young was not restless during the first month of the season. Coming up tonight on Instant Replay.
Bryce Miller making his major league debut.
That was in 2019. High fastball swing and a miss.
New Braunfels High School alum Bryce Miller made his MLB debut on Tuesday, and he had a perfect game for 5 1/3 of an inning. He was on fire. Today was equally as good in his second start versus the Astros, and his Unicorns head coach knows Miller's success is good for local baseball.
The 2-2. Hit in the air to right field and deep.
Undrafted out of MacArthur High School, Rangers third baseman Josh Young is on the rise. He played so well to open the season. He was named American League Rookie of the Month for April, and he capped off the month with his first career Grand Slam at any level.
Do you like Ryder up hits the ropes like this?
No, you should be going forward, like Chris said earlier.
Oh, and a 1-2, and that just sapped all the strength out of John Ryder, and he's down.
Canelo fought in Guadalajara, Mexico last night in front of 51,000 fans. The champ, who's also one of the pound-for-pound best boxers in the world, called the fight a historic moment. Plus, he broke his opponent's nose. SA boxer Kendo Castañeda won here in town to grab a title belt. Plus, SAFC is rolling the dice in Las Vegas. UTSA baseball's on fire. And the UIL baseball and softball playoffs are heating up. All that and much more tonight, Tim, on Instant Replay.
Did you get an extra point for breaking the nose?
No, it just sounds good.
Style points?
Yeah.
All right.
Broke his nose, bro.
We'll see you in a little bit. Coming up on the Nightbeat, he's being called a hero, and he's only in the 7th grade. How this middle school student was not only able to save his school bus driver from a dangerous situation, but also all of his fellow students on board.
And the calls are growing for charges to be filed in connection with the death of a man who was put into chokehold by another subway rider in New York, who's stepping into protest now.
And so much history can be found in the smallest of places and things, like this sign on Fort Sam Houston. We speak to the family who cherishes it. As we kick off Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month, here's a story of a little-known historic marker at Fort Sam Houston dedicated to the Pershing Chinese.
Yeah, in 1917, General John J. Pershing brought more than 400 Chinese to Fort Sam Houston. They'd helped the U.S. Army in Pershing's failed pursuit of Pancho Villa after his notorious raid on Columbus, New Mexico.
In tonight's History Untold, Jesse Degollado talks to some of their descendants.
That's my mother.
Josefina Dong's mother from Mexico met her husband from China in a San Antonio boarding house. He'd also been in Mexico among the Chinese who risked their lives helping the U.S. Army.
Yes, because Pancho Villa was killing them.
There's a picture of Chinese men hung at the railroad station.
While many had already fled Mexico however they could, this vacant plot of land at Fort Sam Houston was the camp where more than 400 of Pershing's Chinese lived under the protection of the U.S. Army, including Josefina Dong's father, but he rarely talked about the past.
They don't talk about something that's, that's not a happy thing.
Yet once here, it said they cleared land for Kelly Field and Camp Stanley ahead of World War I. What's on the historic marker is more than Christina Liu ever knew about her great-great-grandfather, other than what was in a school textbook.
But it was just like a short little paragraph about General Pershing, nothing about Pershing Chinese.
We don't learn about this in history.
Out of their very meager beginnings, they've given us priceless opportunities for us to do better.
Amid the headstones, unlike all the others at Mission Park South.
Many of those laid to rest here are Pershing Chinese who wanted to be buried near one another, united in life and death by their amazing journey.
Jesse Degollado, KSAT 12 News.
Happening around America, the National Action Network will join growing calls for the Manhattan District Attorney to file charges in the chokehold death of Jordan Neely. There have been rallies calling for the same thing across New York City. Protesters taking to the streets starting in Union Square and heading inside to 63rd Street and Lexington Avenue subway station. A grand jury could be convened next week to hear evidence in that case. This all comes as the attorney for the Marine veteran involved in the chokehold death of Neely issued a statement this week expressing condolences over the awful tragedy.
Well, California is one step closer to approving reparation payments for Black residents there. A task force created to examine possible reparations voted to approve its recommendations yesterday. The recommendations call for a formal apology from the state for slavery and would potentially provide billions of dollars in payments to descendants of slaves living in California. The task force will consider the recommendations at its next meeting in June before sending them on to the state legislature for approval. Governor Gavin Newsom formed the task force in 2020 to examine the harm slavery caused and the discrimination that followed for decades.
This next story caught on camera. Having a medical emergency at the wheel can be dangerous for the driver and any passengers on board. That is exactly what happened in this video out of Detroit involving a school bus full of children. But as ABC's Gio Benitez reports, a young man on that bus's heroic actions got everyone off the bus safely.
They were the dramatic moments. A school bus driver had a medical emergency just outside of Detroit. She radios for help. But before she can pull the bus over, she passes out, the bus veering into oncoming traffic. That's when a brave 13-year-old, 7th grader Dylan Reeves springs into action, grabbing the steering wheel and slowly pushing on the brakes, urging his schoolmates to call for help.
I don't care! Someone call 911!
A lot of people calling you a hero right now. Is that weird for you?
I don't know, it just feels good.
But how did he know how to drive that bus? Well, it turns out he's been carefully watching his dad drive for years.
I bet you never thought that here he was so young, but he was really absorbing everything that you were teaching him so young.
Yeah, he definitely has always been attentive to his surroundings.
Since that day, the calls and letters just haven't stopped.
Congratulations on your quick thinking.
But on that day, Dylan didn't think anything of his heroic actions.
I know when he first came home, he was like, all he did was stop the bus.
Wasn't expecting anything out of it.
No.
The local school board giving Dylan an award.
Congratulations.
It's no surprise to anyone that he someday hopes to be a first responder like a police officer or firefighter.
He saved everyone. He's a hero. And we're so proud of him. We love you.
Yes, I love you, buddy.
He deserves all the recognition in the world for this.
Yeah.
Gio Benitez reporting. A humble hero there. Dylan has been able to speak with the bus driver since all this happened. She said she's very proud of him and that she's doing well.
A hero indeed. All right, let's go back outside with live cam here tonight. Temperatures in the 70s here in San Antonio. I don't know if you remember what you did a year ago today, but if you do, you probably remember that it was incredibly hot outside. In fact, 1 year ago today, we actually set the record high for May 7th, 101 degrees. Today, whopping 21 degrees cooler than that, thanks to the cloud cover and those passing light showers here in San Antonio. We only had an official high of 80 degrees, so it was pretty mild out there. But looking ahead, still pretty stuffy out there as we head into our Monday, especially if we can find some breaks in the clouds. Upper 80s, low 90s, feeling even warmer, and then temperatures are back down in the 80s for the rest of the week, with those rain chances in the forecast. So we'll have another full look at this week ahead and time it out coming up in just a few, Tim.
Quite sure what I did last year was complain about how hot it was.
I'm positive that's what you did.
There is a new king of England and his name is Charles. The highlights from the second day of first king coronation since 1937. I never complained.